Hello, everyone, and welcome to Barca News. It's November 29th, 2022, and Gavi has picked up an injury while at the World Cup. Also, Pep Guardiola has opened the door to a possible return to Barcelona, and the club are not giving up on the possibility of signing the Brazilian sensation, Endrick. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and once again, I am currently outside the country. I'm traveling, so I'm away from my computer and all my equipment. So I am bringing you this video live, and I will be doing live videos every day until I go back home so I can keep updating you on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Once I return home next Monday, I will be back to my regular videos at the regular schedule, which will be edited and will be a little bit better quality than these. Please bear with me as I try to bring you the latest news of our beloved club. Now we'll begin with the World Cup news as usually, and two more Barcelona players have moved up to the round of 16, which are Frankie de Jong and Memphis Depay, after the Netherlands defeated Qatar today in the third round of the group stages, and they won 2-0, including the second goal that was scored by Frankie de Jong. Now, Serginho Dest, who is currently on loan with AC Milan, has also moved up to the round of 16 with the United States of America as the USA defeated Iran 1-0 with actually an assist by Serginho Dest himself, who set up a beautiful ball to Pulisic, who was able to score the one and only goal of the match. Now, speaking of the World Cup, it's reported that Gavi has picked up an injury while on the World Cup with Spain. It looks like he received a hit that he hasn't fully recovered from. And even though Spain are reporting that it's not a serious injury, Gavi's gonna have to take some rest so he can recover from that hit. And he hasn't actually been training that regularly, and he will be missing the upcoming matches. And we're gonna have to see how long Gavi will end up missing. Now, it's not known whether Gavi picked up this injury during the match with Germany. Morata, who gave an interview, did say that Gavi actually picked up that injury during training, but there is a possibility that Gavi has been dealing with this injury from before. And knowing how he is, the player that he is, where he always wants to play the entire 90 minutes and he wants to give his 100%, there is a possibility that he picked up the injury from before. But what's important here is that Gavi has picked up that injury and he is in doubt for the upcoming matches. Hopefully, it's nothing serious, and hopefully he can recover and come back as soon as possible. Now, another player that won't be playing in the match against Japan is Sergio Busquets, but that is not due to injury. That's just a decision by Luis Enrique to rest Sergio Busquets for the match in Japan so he can be fresh for the knockout stages, which is looking like Spain will be advancing to. Now onto the news that today is the Barcelona anniversary. As some of you might know, Barcelona was founded on the 29th of November of 1899. So today Barcelona turned 123 years, and it's a great milestone for one of the best clubs in the world and one of the most historic clubs in the world. And it's been 123 years of greatness, and I'm definitely very proud to call myself a Barcelona fan, and I'm very proud that I have this privilege of being able to bring you the latest news about our beloved club every single day. Now, speaking of that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the most relevant, the most up to date news in regards to our beloved club. And also, if you're currently enjoying this video, go ahead and hit that like button. It will help this channel a lot because it will prompt YouTube to recommend this video to other viewers. Now, speaking of Barcelona, Pep Guardiola has opened the door to a possible return to the club. Now, Pep Guardiola left Barcelona in 2012 as the most successful coach in the history of the club, having won a sextuple. And ever since, all Barcelona fans, we have been dreaming with the return of the best coach of our history, Pep Guardiola. And all this time, in these past 10 years, where Pep Guardiola has been gone at both Bayern Munich and then later at Manchester City, he always closed the door and always said that he wasn't coming back to Barcelona. And today, for the first time, Pep Guardiola opened that door to a possible return during an interview where he was asked about a possible return to Barcelona. And he said that if he ever feels that there's a need for him to return, that he will. However, that he doesn't feel like that's the case right now because there's a currently great coach, who is Xavi Hernandez. Pep Guardiola also added that if that return to Barcelona needs to happen in the future, that it will happen. However, he said that he wanted it to happen naturally And that seems to be implying that he doesn't want to, come back to Barcelona by having to force an exit out of his current club, Manchester City, or out of a future club where he will be. He wants to do it the right way, but he's definitely left that door open to a possible return, which is, of course, a very exciting news to all of us Barcelona fans who all dream of a possible return of the best coach to our club. Now, Pep Guardiola also added that he doesn't really feel at home at Manchester City, at the city itself, not at the club. So that, of course, could makes us even more hopeful because he is, after all, from Barcelona. That's where his home is. That's where his family is. So maybe one day he is gonna want to go back to Barcelona to live in his city, and maybe we'll see him once again at the Blaugrana club. Now, another news is that Barcelona are not giving up on the signing of Endrick. As I've reported many times before, Endrick is a 16-year-old striker who currently plays at Palmeiras. He's considered one of the most promising players in the world, and as such, he's become the most coveted player in the world. And all the major European clubs are currently trying to sign this young sensation who won't be able to make a move to Europe until he turns 18 in 2024. Now, as I reported in a previous video, it seems that Palmeiras want a cash deal for Endrick. They know how much he is worth. They know that all the major European clubs are going to be fighting for him. So they're reportedly asking for around 80 million euros, which of course makes this price very prohibitive for Barcelona given the financial situation. But Barcelona are confirming that they're not giving up on the signing of Endrick despite the price. And Xavi said in an interview that Endrick is the kind of player that Barcelona needs because of his talent and his skills. And he also added that in this market, players get to choose what clubs they go to, and that he really hopes that Endrick ends up choosing Barcelona. Now, PSG and Real Madrid are definitely in the race for Endrick, and there's also rumors of Chelsea and other Premier League clubs being very interested in signing Endrick. But as for now, it seems that Barcelona are not giving up, so there must be something that they know, and there be a possibility that Barcelona could sign Endrick. Otherwise, Barcelona would outright come out and say that they will not be going after the Brazilian sensation. Now, another news is that Inter Milan are going to be making a push for Frankie C in the winter transfer market. Now, Inter Milan have not been having a great season in the Italian league, and as a result, they're looking to reinforce their squad, especially in the midfield. And it seems that Inter Milan are very interested in signing Frankie C, and they had actually tried to sign him previously. However, as I've reported before, Frank Cassie does not want to leave Barcelona. He's very happy at the club and he wants to fight for a spot, even though he hasn't been getting much playing time. And Barcelona also want to keep Frank Cassie because they want a player of his profile, a strong, athletic midfielder. However, Barcelona have reported that in the summer, not in the winter transfer market, and next summer, if Frank Cassie is still not getting much playing time, then they're going to sit down with the player and try to figure out a solution. But for now, Barcelona are not looking to get rid of Francesi in the winter, nor is Francesi planning on leaving. So we're going to have to see what happens with Inter Milan's interest, whether they're still going to go into pressure from the player or whether they are going to eventually give up. Now we will end today's news with two brief updates. The first one is that Barcelona are blaming Uruguay for Ronald Araujo's injury. Now, as I reported previously, Ronald Araujo picked up an injury while during the international break during a match against Iran, and that injury saw Ronald Araujo have to undergo surgery, which will see him out for 2 to 3 months total. And now Barcelona have learned new information, and it seems that Ronald Araujo had trained for a double session before the Iran match, which is absolutely unthinkable. Usually, players train double sessions when they are several days away from a match, and as the match gets closer, the trainings get a little bit lighter because so they're not fatigued, they don't get tired. And it seems that Uruguay and Ronald Araujo trained a double session right before the match, the day before, and that is why Barcelona think that Ronald Araujo picked up an injury because the load was too big on him, that he ended up getting injured. And as a result, Barcelona are not too happy with Uruguay, and they're now even more worried that Uruguay are going to try to rush Ronald Araujo back into play before he's fully recovered, given that their training methods, which led to his injury to begin with. Barcelona are hoping that Ronald Araujo refuses to play before he's fully recovered. But of course, they are worried because Uruguay are at the bottom of their group, of the Group H, and Barcelona are worried that since Uruguay have to win their last match in order to have a chance at qualifying, that Uruguay could be forcing Ronald Araujo to play in that match. Hopefully that's not the case because we don't want to rush Ronald Araujo's recovery. He needs to fully recover, and so he can protect his future and protect his career. Now, the second brief update is that Xavi gave an interesting interview where he picked his best players of the World Cup because, as I reported previously, Xavi is in Qatar right now, not only as a representative of the World Cup itself, but also he's there to watch the matches, to track some of the players that Barcelona are interested in. And in the interview, they asked him to pick his best players, and he said that Brazil's Richarlison, in his opinion, was the best finisher in the World Cup. That Spain's Pedri and Germany's Jamal Musiala were the most talented players of the World Cup. That Upamecano and Konate were the best center backs in the World Cup. That Jordi Alba was the most striking fullback, and that Thibaut Courtois was the most inspired goalkeeper under the posts. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button. Also, I would like to hear all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. So please make sure to drop a comment down below. And finally, I invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date on all the current news regarding FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, be scholars.